When you find a real estate platform that aligns everyone in the entire company financially by making us real estate agents owners, so when the average agent wins, everyone wins, that's the secret to success. And when you surround yourself with like-minded entrepreneurial people who absolutely love what they do, they love serving people, they love God and life, and you put yourself in an environment of high energy, high producing, positive people every day, you can't help but succeed in business and life. We are changing the real estate industry and changing real estate agents' lives. Welcome to the Financial Freedom Forever podcast.
Well, hello, Jamila. I'm so excited to have you on here today. We have Jamila Tunu from Houston, Texas today, one of my business partners. Welcome.
Thank you so much, Andre, for having me.
Yeah, I'm super excited to interview you today, kind of hear your story. This is really the first time of us really getting together and having a conversation. So I'm super excited to kind of unpack things. So let's jump right in. Hey, and thanks everyone for tuning in to the Financial Freedom Forever podcast. If you have any questions for Tanu, please put them in the chat and we'll ask her. But go ahead, tell us a little bit about yourself and your real estate background, Tanu.
Well,
sorry.
That's okay. Well, I've been in real estate for about 2 years now, and I started out with another brokerage. Didn't start with EXP, and it was good. You know, I was really heavy on the buyer side. It was a bit overwhelming for me when I first got started. I'll just be honest there.
Sure.
But it was I really enjoyed the company and that I was working with, and I drank the Kool-Aid, so most people know what that means. So what company I came from. So but anyway, so I was real heavy on the buyer side. I hit a lot of milestones, the $1 million clubs and all that stuff. I capped my first year, did all of that stuff. It was my goal to cap my first year. So did very well there. And I met Gary, which is my sponsor and team lead, probably
Gary
about
Wilson,
right at my year mark. And he said, "Hey, Jamila, I'm thinking about putting a team together." And I'm like, "Okay, that's fine, good," because we're all the same brokerage at this time. So I said, "Oh, absolutely, yeah, let's do this." And so, but then he's like, about a month or two later, he was like, "Well, it's going to be at EXP," and I'm like. So it took me about a month to really decide to, clip my wings. And I tell you, that was the best decision I had ever made. I'm so grateful that I went ahead and made the leap and came over to EXP. It's been an amazing experience working with the team and everything. So I don't regret my decision at all. I don't have anything bad to say about the other company, but EXP is just better. It's just better.
Yeah, that's just it. And we can say the names of the companies. We know it's Keller Williams, and they're an awesome company.
Yeah,
we have amazing. A lot of great friends that have came over to partner us with us. But yeah, it's just better once people do the due diligence. But let's unpack a little bit more your story. I understand you're a real residential agent, you're a commercial agent. Don't you do commercial loan originations or some loans as well? Tell us a little bit about that too.
So when I started working, Gary kind of piqued my interest because I initially met him with his investor agent program. And so he piqued my interest with working with investors. And so I started working with investors. And one of the things I saw that there was an opportunity for passive investors and there was an opportunity for active investors. And so I'm a note investor. I prefer the paper, not the property. So I'm a note investor. And so I was able to provide notes opportunities to my clients if they wanted to passively invest. And then I was able to offer, active investing, helping them find properties and everything here in Houston. So as when COVID happened, it was an opportunity for me to do a little pivoting at that time. And I think I joined EXP it was definitely after the pandemic became a thing. So no. Yeah, it was after, because I was with a coach at KW and he had told me, he said, "Jamila, it's time for you." He said, "This is a perfect time to follow your passion. Nobody wants to hear about real estate and buying and selling real estate right now." He said, "Just, call and check on people and, start providing content to help people out." And so at that time, that's when I started to work on financial legacy it was called Financial Legacy Series at the time. I've named it to Financial Legacy Building Secrets now. But that's what I created. And I created this foundational course for people, for women. My target market is women, but for anybody, what I find is that a lot of women wanted to invest, or people in general. Oh, I want to invest, but I don't know where to start. And a lot of times when I ask them about their foundation, how much money you have, say, what's your credit score, all this stuff, they're lacking in these areas. And so I created that so I created that program for them specifically so that we can get you ready. So when I say I start from the very bottom and I can get you all the way up to to protecting your legacy, that is where I am. And so at that point, I also, EXP, once I joined EXP had come up with the commercial real estate opportunity. They really opened it up, to anybody that wanted to learn more about commercial real estate. And I was, again, that was like not a thing at Keller Williams. You just had to refer commercial business. It wasn't open to just agents to come and learn. And that was one of the things that I really appreciated about EXP. So I kind of pierced it. I kind of looked into that world a little bit. And then I found out that you could do lending and you don't have to have a license. And I'm like, oh, really? I was like, because I love working with numbers. Needless to say, like, I'm a note investor, so that's just on the other side. So I was like, absolutely, because I didn't want to do mortgages, like, residential mortgages. I had no interest in doing that. But on the commercial side, it's a totally different story. So as opposed to me focusing on the commercial real estate sales, I focused on the lending side. And so now I'm an originator for commercial real estate. And I also help other people that want to become commercial loan officers, loan originators, because you don't need a license. It's a great, side hustle. So, so that's what I do.
Well, you can really provide full service to any of your clients out there looking to invest into real estate and a commercial. You got everything covered. So that's awesome.
Yes, you come to me, you will have, if you've got credit issues, we'll start with the credit, work on the business credit so that you can start working on that and having more money if you want to do flips. And then we can work on that if you want to do passive, if you want to do, so yeah, I run the gambit, and that's how I want it to be, is to provide those solutions for my clients. So anybody that comes to me, I can meet you where you are. And that's what is important.
All right. Now, I think I read in your bio too that you're a coach as well.
Absolutely. So I do wealth coaching, and I just finished on my website. And I don't need to put it on my website, but it's on my Facebook page. But I just finished doing a 2022 step into 2022 like a boss. It was a women's visioning mastermind for aspiring women investors. So it was a 2022 visioning mastermind for aspiring women investors. So I just did that. And I actually have a replay that's available if anybody's interested in that mastermind. And at that time is when, I kind of showed what my coaching style is as a group coaching session. It's very interactive. And so absolutely. So those that need some accountability to get through their goals and want to know, the whole point of that mastermind is so that when you finish up, you'll know exactly where you need to begin to start investing. So you'll have a date when you need to, a target, what your credit score needs to be. You'll have a savings goal. You'll have a date on when you'll be out of debt. You'll have all of that together. And so then you'll know exactly when to start investing. And then to me, I feel like, well, not to me, I know that once you position yourself, opportunities will come to you. So you don't have to ask, where do I begin? You're going to be asking, like, which one do I pick? Because you're ready.
Right. That's awesome. One of our Facebook users are saying they'd love to see it. So for them to find that and get that information from you, do they just go on your Facebook page, or how do they get that?
Right. Link? They can actually go to I have a group that's called Financial Freedom Foundations. It's on
Financial Freedom Foundation. I love it.
Yes, we got the FFF. Yes.
That's right.
And then also we have I have my Facebook page, which is Financial Legacy Building Secrets. And I'll go into the comments and everything after this and put that in. But yes, if you go to my website, you can actually go to my pages from my website too. It's up at the top. And so you can go there, and I have the replay on there for you to be able to get. It's very interactive. I was pretty proud of it. It was very fun. Yeah, I had
That's great. Providing some fantastic services and education to to help anyone, but your focus is helping women like yourself to achieve financial freedom. That's awesome. So tell me, you said that you were at Keller Williams happy, building your business, but you knew and respected Gary. Obviously, Gary Wilson, he's a big time investing coach and investor himself at Keller Williams a long time. And when he looked at the model and did the math, he joined us. And so when he reached out to you, you had a lot of respect for him, obviously, like everyone does, because of what he's accomplished. But he didn't tell you that he was looking at building a team with EXP. So when he did tell you, you said it took about a month for you to do your due diligence and really kind of dig into it.
Yeah.
And
go ahead.
I was going to say, and you said it when we started, you're thankful. Tell us, what are the top, 2 or 3 things that EXP provided that you're so thankful for?
The one thing I love is that you walk into EXP with the exit strategy. That is the one thing I absolutely love about it. You come in knowing that you can retire off of the stocks. You come in knowing that you can build your business, and because you're a part of the business and you can build your business. And as long as you help grow the company, that you can be a part of that, so those are top two things, is that exit strategy. And then the third thing, of course, is the support. Oh my goodness, all the way from corporate down to just my team. I was at a smaller brokerage, but I felt like I had more access to my brokers with EXP than I did with the actual broker, and I'm in the building with them. I mean, so it was just, people think that it's a disconnect, but I felt more connected when I was with EXP, and it's crazy how that works.
Right?
Yeah, it's really
kind of hard to believe. Most people think, it's a cloud-based company. So if I want to walk into the office and talk to my broker, how am I going to do it? And in the old days, like you said, you walk into the office and you wait an hour or 2 or 3 or 4 to talk to them because they're busy. But with EXP, you don't even have to get dressed and do your hair. You can just jump into the cloud, go into the workplace, go into the broker's office, and talk to them like we're talking now, voice to voice. And it's usually minutes, not hours. Yeah, minutes. People don't realize it until they experience it. So that's why we try to give people, if anyone's listening and they'd like to get a free pass to get into our EXP world, you can reach out to Jamila. She can give you a free pass for 2 weeks. You can go talk to the brokers. You can go talk to the transaction coordinators. Anyone in the dozens and dozens of different offices, and get your questions answered in a few seconds. I mean, that's why they're calling us the Amazon of real estate, right?
Absolutely. I mean, like I said, it was really an interesting phenomenon that we are cloud-based, but I felt more connected with the cloud-based company than I did with just being at the brick and mortar. And it was very interesting. So I didn't have the experience of being a brand new agent here. So, but it is really, and there's no but, the mentorship program and the ability to be able to train. I mean, I can go on and on. There's so many great things about EXP, and it's not just because, we want to recruit because, we get that bad rap too, but it's a great company. I mean, people need to know.
People get excited. Well, I mean, when I got plugged in, we had about 15 or 16,000 agents back 2.5, going on 3 years ago. And now we're already over 70,000. So there's something going on that agents in the last 2 years have, we've grown by over, 55,000 agents, and opened up 19 countries. Last I heard, we could be 20 by now. There's got to be something to it, or it wouldn't be growing the fastest growing company on the globe right now.
Absolutely. Because, to me, it's the full package. You have to look, when you go into a job, and it's not just about the salary, because CEOs don't really look at the salary. They're looking at their equity that they have in the company, their stock options. They're looking at, the perks that they get. They're looking at the full total package. You can't just look. So a lot of agents will just look at the commission split. But no, you have to look at the total package and understand that when the total package comes together, I mean, we get a 10% discount on stock. Come on now. And a growing stock at that. So when you're looking at, and we get a gifted, but when you look at the total package, Yeah, I mean, there might be some, some deviations in the commission piece, but the total package, you can't beat that.
Yeah, you can't even compare. So what was the most difficult thing as a solo agent, at the old company, and how moving over to EXPs really helped you get past that struggle if you had one?
Well, number one, I had to pay for coaching over at KW. So
Okay.
that
What do they
was,
charge for that over there?
oh goodness. Oh gosh. What was I? I was paying, I was in the mastery program. So it's $1,000 a month, easy. So
Wow.
yeah, so
And
that's what I,
how does that coach, how does the coaching, because there's more than just a little bit of coaching over at EXP. I mean, we offer 50 to 60 hours of training every single week that everybody gets at EXP, but you get a double whammy because you're on the global investor agent team with Gary Wilson. So he's got all of his coaching and training for investors and agents
yes.
who want to attract investors. And then because you're in our group with Jake Kinner, Michael Reese, you have free access to the National Association of Expert Advisors coaching and training.
Yeah.
How does those trainings that you have now access to absolutely free compared to the coaching that you were paying $1,000 a month for?
Well, and now that you bring up the other training, that was another thing, that there was any of the specialized trainings that the other agents did, there was always a cost for that as well, at least where I am. So I like the fact that I can just go to training here. There's never an additional cost for training at EXP. So, because that's included in your monthly fee to get them paid. So we don't have to worry about additional. So that's one of the things that helped me. So to answer your question, to compare, the access, I mean, it can almost be overwhelming. Whatever subject that you want to talk about, I learned about funnels through an EXP class, a mastermind, because somebody was talking about funnels, and I'm like, I didn't know anything about funnels. And so I mean, it's just been there, and I wouldn't have known anything about the commercial. I mean, they did a full 3-day commercial training for anybody free that wanted to come. You didn't even have to be an agent to come to that. So when I'm telling you that and then going to the team, gosh, now I have, access to Gary. I can talk to him 4 times a week if I want to. I only got once a week, with my coaching, but I can talk to him 1 time a week. I mean, anytime I want to text him, or, but most of the time I respect his time. So I just schedule an appointment with him, but I can do that as much as I like with him. And so I really enjoy that. So as far as my ability to excel and do better, that the team split was all worth it. It panned out actually to be better for my good because of all the extra money that was coming out outside of my commission that I don't have to pay anymore.
Yeah, that's fantastic. That's just so brilliant about this model, is because we're all financially connected together. And it doesn't, and it's revenue share. I mean, KW has the profit share, which is awesome. And that's why one of the things that they grew so much when they got started, 30 years ago or whatever. But the revenue share compared to profit share, instead of getting paid off the profit off after expenses are paid, we get paid off the top, and it's 20 times, it's like 20x, right? So that's a huge deal for everyone within EXP, because those people that you're connected to in your network, you get a piece of the revenue every time they sell a house. So if I can help you sell, an extra 10 houses a year, or Gary can help you, or anyone in the entire company can help you, we all benefit because we keep growing and the stock keeps going up. We all owners in the company, right? So when all the other franchises, and we're not a franchise, but all the other franchise type companies out there that are on NASDAQ, as the agents work their butts off, and those honeybees are really working. The only people getting the honey is the guy that owns the company, or the outside world, or paying for stock. And EXP gives us opportunities 5 different ways to get that stock, right? So because of that model, everybody's willing to help and give everyone in the company as much as possible to help everybody, improve their business, instead of holding tight. Oh, absolutely. I'm number one in my area because it is my listing presentation that I've worked my life to master. No one would ever give that to you. But over here, it's all open hands.
Yes, and it's so funny that you say that, because not only is it just the team, if we go on Workplace and ask for help for anything from anybody anywhere in the country, there are all in. I mean, I had never seen anything like that, to where people are so helpful. I mean, and so giving, and and we have access to them always. It's not like we don't have to go to a convention to be able to talk to people
Right.
in Florida or even
Yeah.
overseas. They're all there, and they're all there to contribute and help you if you put a question or anything out there. And if you and anybody that I've ever messaged directly for some assistance or anything like that, they've always been helpful. They've always been open. I have yet to find anybody that shunned me, or or was rude to
Right.
me or anything like that. I mean, they were always helpful. I mean, I just randomly go in people's inboxes real quick and like, hey, ask question, let me,
Yeah. Right.
and they will all ears open, and
They
just
always answer. Yeah.
it's amazing. Yeah.
And it doesn't matter if it's leadership or if it's somebody that's that's an employee, or if it's just an
Hmm.
agent owner, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I experienced the same exact thing. It's pretty cool. You mentioned, you got to normally go to conferences to kind of get that collaboration and that help. And while you're at the conference for 2 or 3 days, you get all as much as you can. But when you go back home, it's kind of like you're on your own world again by yourself. And I used to go to at least 3, 4 conferences a year, prior to EXP. Now, man, I try to go. We can almost go to something once a month if you want to. But even when I'm at home working, I feel like I'm at a conference because I have access to all my senior business partners with a quick text, or a phone call to anyone within our company.
Hmm.
And the people that we met at the conferences become really great friends, and we just continue helping each other. And we're not even in the same group, but we have
Hmm.
something in common for whatever it is that we're doing. And it's pretty cool. Let me ask you, what surprised you the most about EXP? What were you not expecting when you came over here? What's better
Oh,
than you were expecting?
honestly, the connectivity, as I mentioned before, that was extremely surprising. How
Okay.
connected and how available and how easy it is to touch people in this cloud base. It was, like I said, it was more easy to touch more people, higher level people, $1 million earners. I mean, I can multi-million dollar earners. I mean, all these people that are, they're accessible. I can touch all of them, and they're all, everybody's, you can touch them. I think that was the biggest thing, because you think in cloud based, again, like we said before, that that you're just isolated and at home and you don't get support, and that's not the case. And I was thinking, oh yes, I get to, I could stay at home, and but anytime I needed something, I just hopped in the world or hopped on Workplace and got whatever needed to get done. And it was, I mean, my broker, and if it's weekend night, I'm messaging her on Workplace, and she gets right back to me. I mean, it was, I did not experience, I mean, and
Never
this is
had that
not the
before.
assistant, this is the actual broker I'm
Yeah.
having like messaging with, and she's helping me with my deals. So that was extremely surprising for me. I did not expect that.
Yeah, same here. Our brokers here in Georgia are phenomenal. Our broker the main designated broker just changed it recently.
Hmm.
And so I never talked to the new one just yet, but I had a
Hmm.
question on something about property management. I had a prospect that was coming to join and had a question I couldn't answer. So got on and I knew we had the new broker. I just hadn't talked to him yet. And just messaged them through Workplace. And if people don't know what that is, it's a platform just like Facebook. It's actually by Facebook, but it's just for work. Our 70,000 agents and I don't know 1,000 plus employees are all in there. So I messaged him, private chatted him through Workplace, and he literally responded, no joke, in like 60 seconds. Like, holy crap, that was great.
Hmm.
And then we jumped on the phone because we did have a quick question, and he answered it, and away we went. I'm actually talking to him again tomorrow with somebody else on some other specific things because this girl's coming over. She's a broker, owner of an independent company,
Hmm.
and a small one, and she's got some deals she wants to bring over with her and close at EXP. And because she's the owner broker, she can do that, right?
Right.
So she can cap quicker and start getting her stock immediately. And we just got some questions, and
Oh
I
wow.
texted him yesterday, and he texted me back. And we're on for tomorrow afternoon. So yeah,
Wow.
that's
You're
it's been pretty amazing.
That's good. Your hashtag goes, Andre. I need to get on my recruiting and attraction like you. I need to get on that.
Well,
Need to do
yeah,
better.
all you gotta do is keep doing what you're doing. but just share it with a few people. I mean, you're smiling from ear to ear because of how this is changing our lives. And when you're doing a transaction with somebody, or you're helping another realtor through with whatever, with some investing or whatever, I just get them in front of the information. Most people have heard about it by now.
Yeah.
But most people haven't sat down and actually had a conversation and really dug into it, right? Because no one's asked them to sit down and have a conversation and dig into it. And the people that do that and they do the math, well, if they're open-minded, they're serious about bringing their business to the next level, they would like an exit strategy. So things, when they're ready to slow down someday, they're going to be able to, have a retirement plan set up. Most people are pretty open to it. The only people I found that haven't, they're happy where they're at, which is great. We want happy people,
right?
But they're comfortable, and sometimes comfort is the killer of all success.
Yes.
If you aren't willing to get a little uncomfortable, and you hate change, and I hate change, but I wanted, financial freedom for myself and for my family, and for and to be able to give back. So I wanted financial freedom for myself and other people more than I didn't like change. So that's just it. And I believe that at some point in a real estate agent's life, when you worked hard enough and long enough, at some point your mind's going to go from active income to passive income.
To passive,
I don't know
yes.
What age group that is. If you're really young and entrepreneurial, hopefully you're thinking about that when you first get going. But even if it takes you a little while, it's all about passive income. And in being an investment field, that's where it's at, because we all get older someday, and we're all going to see to slow down someday. And I don't know about you, but I've never been to a real estate agent's retirement party before. Been to a handful of funerals, and I still see some guys that are 70 years old, literally. And I have a few guys in my group that are in their 70s, and they keep telling me every time I see them, "Thanks for calling me, because you made real estate fun again." But I ask people, hey, when you're 70, 80 years old, do you want to still be showing houses as much as you are doing now and keeping up that pace? And sometimes they lie to themselves and say, yeah, I love it. And yeah, we love it. But don't you love your grandkids just a little bit more? That you'd like to be able to spend a little bit more time with your grandkids and be able to pay for their college education? So anyway, getting a little off track here, but I get a little excited about sharing the opportunity, because we're changing people's lives. I get story after story, text after text of people thanking me, especially on their anniversary dates when they check their stocks and they're saying, wow, I made another X. Thanks again. I had a friend in Canada that bought a $80,000 boat with his stocks.
Wow.
And he's pretty excited. Nice boat. I was at his house a few weeks back up in Canada. But I know one question I always like to ask, what do you think about getting access to the National Association of Expert Coaching and Training with Michael Reese, Jay Kinder, and Al Stasic? Do you take advantage of that much? I know it is a little overwhelming with so much at us. But have you taken advantage?
I dabbled in it and was looking more for things that were specific to me. And what I found, I didn't really go towards in the buyer's presentation, sales presentation, but there was one one video that was shared about sales skills and things like that, and how that skill set of just doing better, being a better marketer and being a better salesperson, and how to influence people, and all these different types of trainings. I did take advantage of a few of those, and but just having access to someone that has the type of success that they've had, and they're giving it all away. For the lack of a better term.
We got someone asking, how do I get access to the expert advisor course? Well, if you're part of our group, you can go right into the NAEA back office. If you don't have that, you can text me or your sponsor, and we'll get you access to it. Because if you're in our group, you get access to that for free. You get a username and password, and you're able to log right back in. You'll see there's big old buttons there to talk about becoming a certified home buying advisor and a certified home selling advisor. And the courses are right there. You have, there's, 6 or 7 different videos and PDFs and courses to fill out, and take the course. And at the end, there's a little test. Make sure, you retain the information, and that's all you need. Thanks, Yvonne. Yvonne from Canada, one of our newer business partners. So yeah, we'll make sure you get access to that, Yvonne, and you definitely want to take it. I was a real estate coach for another coaching company for 9 years, and we did pretty well with listings, and I was a top listing agent in my county 7 years straight before moving to Atlanta to become a coach. So we had a really strong presentation. When I took the NAEA certification course for sellers, I had pages and pages of notes. I'm like, wow, that's really good. That's information and things that I've never heard of before. And it's a game changer. It really is going to help your conversion. So if you're out there listening and you're a real estate agent and you want to up your conversion, you need to get access to those free courses through our group at NAEA. It'll improve your game for sure. So Jamila, tell me, what's your 5-year plan? Where do you see yourself in 5 years with your career and in your personal life?
Well, I'm glad you asked. I actually have a 3-prong approach right now. So Remember I told you one of the things I liked about EXP was the exit strategy. So it's a 3-prong. So I've got my real estate sales and lending to work to build teams so that at one point I can slow down a little bit. So that's one of the goals that I'm working on, building a team. Then also I have my financial legacy building secrets. I want to continue to train and coach women on becoming financially free. So building a legacy for their family's family. So my mission actually is to break generational chains of poverty in my community through education and economic empowerment by mastering my resources and teaching others to do the same. So everything that I do aligns with my purpose. And so that's that one. So 2-prong. And then the 3rd prong, of course, is creating passive cash flow through notes, origination of notes, and also the purchase and acquisition of notes. So those are that's my 3-prong approach. In the next 5 years, I want to be at least halfway there. My goal, honestly, is to retire by the time I'm 50. I'm 41 now, so I got 9 years to get it done. So all of those need to be producing a minimum of $50,000 per year. $50,000 $50,000 per year minimum on each one of those prongs. That's my goal. Passive.
Very fantastic. Well, I'm sure you're going to get there. High thinker like yourself, you're definitely going to get there. And if you start adding in some of the advantages with EXP, with the revenue share and the stock, and there's a total of 8 different ways that you can actually earn income from EXP. We won't have time to go through all those today, but you just get a few of those up and running. It'll definitely get you there for sure.
Yeah. And you said the 8, and then those 8 ones, and then with my organization and what I do, I add even more opportunities, especially when it comes to the, helping investors. So creating those different streams and those different opportunities is imperative for anybody that's out there as a realtor. You should not only be living off of commissions. That is just an act. And I think the pandemic should have really been a telltale sign of that. You can't just depend on one stream.
Yeah, absolutely. The market changes. I've been through up and down several market booms and crashes since I've been in real estate for 30 years. And yeah, absolutely. And what's another cool thing about leveraging this business model and building teams around the country, if the Atlanta market crashes, doesn't mean that the California market or the market in Ontario, Canada is going to crash, right? Mm-hmm. So you're diversified with the income that continues coming in as the market fluctuates up and down. So I love having that, that stability and leverage for sure. Let me ask you, if there was just one takeaway, Jamila, today that you want to make sure that anyone listening today, any friends of yours, anyone that you've talked to in the past or planning on talking to, what would you want to make sure that they understood and took away from this interview today?
I would say the first thing, I don't know if this came from the interview, but the first thing that I would really want to impart upon people is don't judge EXP based off of what you heard. You need to find out about EXP on your own and make your own judgment. That's the biggest thing. Experience it for yourself. And once you've experienced it, if it's not for you, it's not for you because it's not for everybody. And we understand that. But a lot of people turn their nose up at it because of what they've heard. So my biggest thing is decide for yourself. You know, if this is an opportunity for you, you can do your own due diligence and just look at the opportunity. Do your numbers. If it makes sense, it makes sense. If it doesn't, it doesn't. And that's okay. But don't use prejudgment on somebody else's experience for you. It can cost you.
Yeah, that's great.
A lot.
I'd add to that is and also get involved talking, whoever shared it with you, talk to them about it. What's their experience? Talk to some of their business partners and what their experience has been and what they bring to the table, because you get to partner with 7 other people in your organization that all get paid, not from you, but from the company, to make sure that you're successful. So you never want to talk to someone outside the company. Who would go to a Ford dealership and ask them to tell them about the Tesla? Why would you do that? They're not going to say anything good. They're going to want you to come and buy a Ford. So if you want to learn about the Tesla, you go and talk to the people that are selling them, the people that own them, the people that are driving them, the people that build them, and you find out from them and you test drive it. Go and check it out for a while. And that's what we do. We open up our network and our private Facebook pages and do a lot of things. I had a lady that got plugged in the other day, and she didn't know me from Adam. We just got connected, and but I shared the opportunity, and she had heard about it a couple of years ago and didn't think it was going to be a good fit. But she was open to doing a little bit more due diligence, and she did, and decided, this is a lot better than I ever thought it was. But she didn't know me personally, so I said, I got hundreds of people in my organization. I'm going to give you somebody right here from Atlanta, one from California, and one in Ontario. So you're getting them from different countries and someone right here, and just call them and get references, right? And of course, since she's done that, and now she can't stop smiling. We've already actually helped her grow her team already, and she was only been in the company for a week, and we already have someone building on her team. So whatever your goal is our goal, and that's why that's great advice, Jamila, is to really do some due diligence and take some time doing it. I've had people, and give them some information, and in 1 or 2 days, like, I don't think it's for me. It's like, you can't figure things out in 1 or 2 days. I mean, did you know about the health insurance, right? Did you know about the iBuyer program? Did you know about the lending, the lending program that's within the company that you can earn dividend from? I mean, most people don't know about the 8 different ways of earning income in EXP. Most people just talk about, the revenue share, the stocks, and the commission splits, but there's 5 other ones, right? So you got to do your due diligence. So that's great advice. My last question for you, Jamila, is if you could do it all over again, what would you do differently, if you don't mind sharing about joining EXP?
I think if I could do things all over, I wish I would have focused on building my team immediately when I got into the company. I'm looking back now and I'm like, oh gosh, that was something that I could have really focused on and been pretty successful about it, but I wasn't in the right mind space, should I say. I'm in a different headspace now, but that's what if I could do it all over again, I would hit the ground running with building my team and building, and so I can build the company and exposing as many people to this opportunity as possible.
Well, it's not too late, because I don't know how many millions of real estate agents that are out there, but I know we're going to be, EXP's goal is to hit 500,000 within 5 years, and we're absolutely on track to do that. So we're going to be able to help you. And any help that you need, Jamila, please reach out to me. I'm your business partner. You have access to our private Facebook pages. I have step-by-step of everything that I did to help grow my team. And it's getting really fun now. I like to share with people that, this is not a get-rich-quick deal. This is a get wealthy over time deal. Right? I mean, absolutely. I only shared this opportunity with one agent in 3 months. When I first got started, I had one agent in California join it within 3 months, and made $408 on my first deal that he did in California. And then within 6 months, 2 other people came. So I had 3 people in 6 months. I don't think you can call me recruiter of the year.
Right.
But at the end of that year, because a few of those people shared with a few people, I had, I think, 37, and that's still not a big deal. That didn't change my life. I was only making a few thousand a month. But by year 2, end of year 2, I look at my wealth chart over here. I was at 281 team members overall. I didn't share all that. It's just friends telling friends. So I had 281, and we're not at the 3rd year yet. February 1st is kind of my renewal, but today we're over 600, and got to look at my sheet there last night. We had 626.
Wow.
So just in the last 11 months, we went from the 281 to the 626.
Wow.
And in the last 11 months, I've only personally, I think, attracted 3 or 4 people.
Wow. Wow.
So
that's powerful.
It's very powerful. And what's going to happen in the next 5 or 10 years? I'm super excited. So before we sign off, any last comments that you'd like to share?
Thank you, Andre, for having me on. I really enjoyed the conversation we had today. And I would just, everybody, please follow me again on Facebook. I tend to, and then if you're a woman and you want to join my group for women, men can too, but it's a Financial Freedom Foundation for women investors, aspiring women investors, to help you get your foundation where it needs to go so we can get you investing. So that's the whole goal, is to move you to wealth, move you from poverty. And then, like I said before, always walk into a situation and know your exit strategy. That's the key, because people just don't know. They don't walk in with the end in mind. And I think that's one of the things, again, that attracted me to EXP, is because you walk in with, they line the extra strategy out for you. Yeah. You just got to take advantage of it. It's like right there. It is not the goal. It's the culture and the structure of the company is for you not to be a real estate agent for the rest of your life, period. I mean, we're a real estate company, but that's not, they don't want you to be, selling real estate for the rest of your life. And I'm like, that's so counterintuitive, but that's what it is. So having those exit strategies and getting yourself ready and poised for wealth is all it's about. And I hope that I can get some people to take a look at the planning session, the mastermind session that we had, that replay. I think that'll be an amazing opportunity for those that participate in that to really, jumpstart their financial foundation come for 2022. So I appreciate the opportunity. Thank you so much.
Yeah, it's my pleasure having you on here. And real quick before I always like to ask people at the end, if you're a reader, what's the best inspirational book that you love? Or if you're a movie watcher, what's the name of your all-time favorite movie?
My all-time favorite book, I read so many books, but I would say my all-time favorite that I've read multiple times in multiple areas of my life, times in my life, is The Alchemist. My favorite.
Alchemist. Okay.
The Alchemist. It's a journey type parable book, but it seems like I'm with someplace where Santiago is in that journey and how he handled it, the psychology. I mean, it's a great book. I've read it, I don't know how many times. And on Audible, Jeremy Hines, which played Scar on The Lion King, he is the one that narrates it on Audible, so he performs it. So it's just it's an amazing experience. I love that book. I lost count how many times I've listened to it.
Oh, that's great. Well, we appreciate that. We'll have to check that one out because I haven't read that one. So we'll have to add that to the list. Thanks so much, Jamila. We're excited. Thanks again for joining us on Financial Freedom Forever podcast. And anyone out there, her phone number is right there, and Facebook, definitely reach out to Jamila to see how she can help you with your investing needs or your real estate business. And we'll talk to you soon. Have a Merry Christmas. And I know it's going to be a Happy New Year.
Good deal. Thank you.
All right. Bye-bye.